Hi, this is TSG Multimedia's Dan Cortopassi, and today I'm reviewing the InterMountain AC12 HO Scale SP Cab Forward. This happens to be a model of the 4294, which is the engine that's actually at the California State Railroad Museum, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to buy it. Now these come two ways. You can get them without sound, just straight DC, or you can get them with DCC and sound. And the sound decoders they install are Look Sound Selects, which is actually what I use. I was not able to get the 4294 with the decoder in it. Couldn't find one, but I did find the DC version, and I actually installed my own Look Sound decoder in it. So essentially what I have is the same as what it would be if you bought one from the factory. I didn't do anything else to it. It comes with LED lighting on the front and back, and a lot of detail, as you can probably see here. It's got some neat little things like the water hatches on the tender actually open. All kinds of stuff. Now, because there's actually so much detail on here, on the sides and everything, it's actually a bit of a difficult model to handle. Picking it up is tricky. In fact, the instructions tell you where to grab it, because you don't want to grab it just anywhere, because it's possible to knock little parts off very easily. Which I've already discovered. Also, this is not an engine that likes sharp curves. The frame is constructed actually very much the way that a real articulated was, in the sense that this engine here is actually rigid to the boiler, and this engine pivots. A lot of models, both engines will pivot, which isn't really prototypical, but it allows them to go around sharper curves. This one doesn't do that, and I actually I usually set up a loop of Cato Unitrack on the floor, because I don't have a big enough layout to do this. But when I'm speed matching my engines, I set up a loop, and I use the Cato, the biggest Cato curves that there are, which are about a 31 and something inch radius. And I actually was having trouble keeping this engine on the rails with that big of a radius, so it obviously needs some big curves. Also, because of the handling, this is really an engine, if you have a layout, put it on the layout and leave it there. I wouldn't want to be taking this on and off the track all the time, because like I said, it's a little bit fragile. But it's also a really nice looking model. Runs pretty well. Can get it to go here. This is one of the, I guess it's the third run of these that they've done, and they've made some improvements, from what I understand, to the drivetrain. I've heard some complaints about the older ones, that the motors were weak or slow. I don't have another one to compare this with. This one actually runs very nicely, so don't have any complaints in that department. So as I said, this just has the factory lights in it. They're a little bit on the yellow side for my taste as far as the headlights go, but I guess for a steam engine that's not so bad, since they did tend to have a little more of a yellowish tone to the lights. It also has independently controlled number boards, so that came from the factory. That way I didn't have to do that, which is pretty nice. I haven't done any modifications to the engine other than putting the decoder in it. So, and it also has a backup light on the tender that works. So, I mean, this thing is incredible detail just about everywhere. I mean, look at the smoke box front, and the compressors and everything on there, and it has a little hinged deck plate on this walkway back here that connects with the tender. It's a really nice engine. It came with Kadee couplers, not the scale size, just the regular Kadees. They were mounted at the correct height. The wheels seem to check out as far as gauge, so It's a pretty nice model overall, and I'm pretty pleased with it.